everyone, and welcome back to Your Comments Matters. I'm your host, Minister Love. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to our channel today. Well, Your Comments Matters in regards to the church news that we're going to bring to you today. And this is coming from Fox 13 Tampa Bay. And this is titled Ministry Watch Group Kept Eye on Church Leaders Arrested in Forced Labor Scheme. So we've had this story on before. Remember the religious cult video that we did? So this is in addition. This is some more comments that matters when it comes to the scandal, the scam that this religious cult group was perpetrating, was manipulating believers into. All right then. So with that being said, we're going to get to the video. You can watch it. And then afterwards, we're going to get your comments because it was over 255,000 views when this aired. So your comment, you might just been one of them that we have here on the show today. Why do you have your comment? Because your comment matters when it comes to church news. Take a look at the video, shall we?
Let's face it, most of the insurance industry can feel a bit prehistoric, impersonal, and confusing.
A pair of church leaders accused in a nationwide human trafficking case will remain in jail after appearing in federal court today. One of the hearings was in Tampa, where Michelle Brannon declined to have a bond hearing, instead choosing to have the hearing in Michigan, where the case is actually based. In a court filing, prosecutors say that they want Brannon held until her trial. They wrote that she is a danger to others and worry that she may try to run. They also indicated that her home address was listed as a mansion in the affluent Avila neighborhood in North Tampa. That property was one of 4 across the country raided by federal agents yesterday. Authorities say the properties belong to David Taylor and his Kingdom of God Global Church. Court documents indicate the church was operating 9 call centers. One of them was actually at that Avila mansion. Investigators say unpaid workers were forced to solicit donations or face punishments, including physical and psychological abuse and food and sleep deprivation. The indictment alleges that Taylor made the rules and Brannon, the church's executive director, enforced them. The arrest came as a relief to a woman who says she was in a relationship with Taylor back in 2018, and she says she ended it and wrote a book in 2020 trying to expose his abuse. This is just part of a video that she recorded yesterday.
There were so many people that were taken advantage of, and I was one of them. I experienced firsthand the abuse, the lies, and the corruption of both of the individuals who were arrested today. What a shame they are to authentic churches and ministries who have the character and the humility of Christ.
According to the federal indictment, Taylor referred to himself as an apostle, claiming that he communicated with Jesus and that he could heal people through faith.
Oh, God.
But investigators say it was all a con.
Yeah.
The church raised $50 million in donations over the last 12 years.
$50
And
million.
investigators tell us the money funded extravagant lifestyles for Taylor and Brannon, who were the only ones receiving a salary. Of course, there are still many questions about how this church was able to operate for as long as it did.
Some have been watching and raising red flags for years. Let's bring in Fox 13's Genevieve Curtis, who spent the day digging into the church's past. Hi there, Genevieve, in our newsroom tonight. What'd you find out here?
Yeah, Mark, there is a lot to go through, and those who keep an eye on ministries say that there were red flags with David Taylor and his church for years, but truly nothing of this magnitude.
They have, frankly, from the very beginning, shown evidence of being a bad actor, a bad operator.
Warren Smith makes it his mission to keep faith leaders accountable. He's the president of Ministry Watch. The news outlet tracks finances and actions of Christian ministries.
I like them.
They followed the actions of David Taylor and the Kingdom of God Global Church over the years. But Smith says the allegations contained in the federal indictment of forced labor and human trafficking were shocking.
A level of evil, a level of wrongdoing that even among some of the worst actors that we've been covering over the years here at Ministry Watch, and we've been around for 26 years, I don't believe I've ever seen anything quite like this.
The indictment alleges since 2014, the church amassed $50 million in donations, leading to
look at Kenneth Copeland and Jesse Duplantis. That's the start. Look at them.
An oversight and accountability and regulatory regimen for nonprofits that was devised in the 1950s and 60s. It is completely inadequate for the number of nonprofits that we have in this country today. So I think one of the ways that David Taylor was able to get away with it was that they were just not being scrutinized by the government at all.
Authorities accuse Taylor and his right hand, Michelle Brannon, of forcing workers to meet unrealistic quotas at the church's call centers, and they were punished when they didn't. A model used in third world
Kingdom of the devil.
Maybe the first known case in the U.S.
And I think by understanding the mechanics of David Taylor's operation, we might be able to gain some insights into how to investigate or what to look for in some of these other situations that I'm aware of.
And there are still questions about how many people were forced to work in these conditions. Transcripts from a federal civil trial could give us some insight. Taylor and his church were sued by a Florida movie set company over failing to pay. Last year, one of the church's pastors testified that they rely on 75 to 80 full-time volunteers to run the day-to-day operations. He also testified the church has thousands of volunteers in almost 200 nations around the world.
So there are a lot of victims here, a lot of problems, a lot of damage done, but at least it's coming to light, and maybe we can learn a few lessons from it.
And in talking about those call centers, the church promotes its prayer line, which we call today.
Prayer line.
People are still answering the phones for the church. So I reached out to the FBI field office to see if there are other locations that were not raided, if there are more victims that are still working for the church, answering those phone lines. We'll let you know what we find out.
All right, everyone. You saw the video for yourself. Here is this great group called the Ministry Watch, and where they keep an eye on these church leaders. And here is this Pastor Taylor and Brannon, and call themselves at the Kingdom of God. They conducted a nationwide human trafficking. They had 9 call centers to solicit donations to support their lavish lifestyle. They raked in over $50 million. One of the victims even wrote a book about it in 2020, trying to expose them about the church abuse, their lies, and their corruption. I'm telling you, church news will never go out. Church news, there's always something going on. You got wolves. It's like these wolves they're mating and they're populating, they're recreating fast, because you got these wolves now, man. You got 30 of them, where there's one church, you got 30 wolves ready to pounce on that one church in your community. These jokers are multiplying. You hear me? These wolves are multiplying. Sheep, get out of the wilderness under these predators. My God, my God. All right then, everyone, let's get over to the comments, because your comments matters on the red flags before the church leaders arrest. All right then, first comment is coming from Christoph. And he says that it took this long for this dude to be arrested is insane. Exactly. These nonprofit status, I agree with you, Christoph. You know, they got this nonprofit status. That's what they hide behind. They ain't got to pay no taxes. And even the IRS don't even follow up with them. But let you start something. Here they come, sending you letters for this, sending you letters for that. But you can't get these crooks for $500 million. Give me a break. You know, Christoph, you got 13 replies on that. Let's take a look at another commenter coming from Nick. Nick says, it's about time they started going after these pastors who live in these insane mansions, have private jets, and pay no taxes. You know, you got 245 thumbs up on that comment and 5 replies. Wow, Nick, you right. It's about time. This is 2026. And now you just not going after these jokers? Come on now. Come on now. These pastors got predator power. Take a look at the next commenter. Kareem says, wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, that's it right there. You got 384 thumbs up on that comment and 11 replies. There it is right there. Nothing but wolves. That's what wolves do. They're predators and they operate in a pack. And then they go and teach the other wolf how to pounce on the prey. They teach them. They got schools. They got prophecy schools. They got healing schools. They got all these so-called schools that teach you how to be a predator. You can't make this stuff up. This is church news. Take a look at another commenter coming from Queen and Crown. Hey, like that. Stop going to these houses of worship that constantly begging for your money. Give freely to those who truly are in need. Exactly. Why don't we go and give our money to like these rescue missions that help people homeless, people with mental issues, women that's having family issues? Why don't we give our money to real organizations? These churches ain't nothing but slot machines. They are the slickest casinos you could ever operate. That's just Minister Love thought, right? Because you think about it, when you go to a casino and you pulling down that lever, what are you doing? Hoping and praying, hoping and praying. And you can pull that lever 100 times, you might win 2 times. Okay, well, that's how it is with these churches, with these wolves. They tell you, get you all pumped up, get you all pumped up. Oh yeah, press down, shaking together. You're gonna be overflowing, and you get nothing. Yeah, you get a crumb here and there. But they're living in the jets. They got the jets. They got the mansions. They got the gold. They got the silver. They got the finest dining place. Oh, let me go on. Let me go on. Minister Love got to go to the next comments. But you guys can see your comments matters because this is what others are thinking as well. Take a look at another commenter coming from O'Neill Russell says, that's not a mansion. It's a resort. Okay. Take a look at the picture. That's a resort. Fine. I mean, the best of the best. These wolves. And the sheep just give it to them. The sheep just give them the money because the sheep is hoping and hoping that they can get the worms out their ears. You know how sheep are. You know how sheep, they get the worms in their head. You know what they say? And they just start shaking. They start going crazy. They'll do anything that will tell them to do. They'll pay, give it whatever you want. Y'all remember Jim Jones? Take a look at our last commenter. Hey, this is just summing it up. Coming from Angela Carter says, any preacher who has a mansion like that is definitely a wolf. You better go on and say it. He's a wolf. He's a wolf, isn't he? Ooh, and when he pounces on the poor little sheep that's giving him their lives so he can live first class while they're living last class. You can't make this stuff up. Thank you, Ministry Watch. Thank you, everyone, for your comments matter. Thank you, Christoph. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Queen and Crown. Thank you, O'Neill Russell. And thank you, Angela Carter, for your comments matter on this show today. Why? Because your comments matter. All right, then, everyone, remember to go over to the Bible Talk Show. Sister Sandra and I are doing a great series talking about the what ifs in life. See, what if this Pastor Taylor and Brenner of the so-called Kingdom of God, what if they wasn't involved in this nationwide human trafficking? They wouldn't be facing jail time right now. What if they didn't have any call centers, soliciting donations to support their lavish style? What if they had the call centers to support the poor people's lifestyle, that they can get up on their feet with assistance with medical care costs and food and housing costs? What if they had done that? What if there was no victim? What if they didn't have any victim and she wouldn't have wrote that book? See, what if? It's the choices that you make. This is why it's important to take a look at the series, The What Ifs in Life, because believe it or not, people in the Bible had some what ifs, and you will be astounded to see what their what ifs are. Take a look at the Bible Talk Show on the YouTube channel and become a subscriber today. All right, then, everyone, that's going to do it for your Comments Matter, where we brought you church news. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing right here to Your Comments Matter, getting your church news. See you next video.